Good morning, traders. Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to today's report. So, overnight, Fed Powell testified. Now, some of the key things coming out from it is that he is worried about the current level of US debt and has also said that if the economy hit a slump, they're prepared to run aggressive QE if needed. So, some bit of direction coming out. They've also said that they're going to see soon on the data front about how much of an impact that coronavirus is having. A lot of people are starting to bring this up in regards to industry, manufacturing. There's a lot of businesses that are working with China, and recently as well we've seen now that you can't send anything from the US to China as well. It's been blocked on FedEx from Hong Kong into the mainland, and there's also a lot of things in China have come to a stop from shipping and logistics point of view for overseas to a degree. That's going to be, the big question is what kind of impact that's going to have on a lot of businesses. So here in Australia, there's many businesses that run and rely on products that are manufactured in China and that are either shipped directly to them or to intermediary warehouses before being sent locally to distribution points and businesses locally. So I'm sure will start coming out in the next period of time, a quarter or so, and we'll start to see some of that impact. The tourism impact has also been hit. Is a big hit so far in Australia, and that will continue to grow with no Chinese tourists at the moment coming to Australia. So these are all things that are going to be probably looked at in the future by the RBA as well. We can see this morning that the Aussie dollar is lower. Governor Lowe speaking in 6 minutes, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and this morning the Reserve Bank of New Zealand also commented that rates will need to stay lower for the time being. They label it as a necessity, as necessary. So that's been putting some pressure on some of the commodity currencies this morning. So after 3 good days, we saw the Aussie starting to see some selling now. It's a new lower high here. We're just going to keep an eye on that if this does turn into another test lower. But that low is a big low. If we don't beat that low, we're still trading water and playing the continual game we've seen so far with potential moves coming out of it. Now, let's have a look at the euro. Overnight, we had a pretty interesting night. So on one side of the coin, risk markets were strong in terms of equity markets. We saw new highs, record highs on the GER30, S&P, SPX 500, Nasdaq, and on the stocks 50. But the euro is currently still moving lower. This is despite growth in German wages posted overnight, but industrial production or manufacturing, I think, this morning was at a lower point. So some mixed data, but the euro is still moving lower, and this is definitely would be by some comments coming out of the central bank, I would say, as we've hit now new 6 months lows. That was a previous low back in October last year, and we've drifted below that. So we'd want to see soon that if buyers are going to come in, or really is just showing you there's no demand at all on the buyer side from the euro. But if we see new lows today, at some point we'll be looking for some sort of counter rally to be mounted by buyers, and after that, that's when we'll get a good idea if we're going to see a new lower high and then continuation lower, which could, if we just have a look at the weekly, that could really start to set up possibly a move back, to test these levels back here, which haven't been really seen since 2016. So we'll just have to keep an eye on the euro on that point. So it really is, obviously we had a bit of a grind lower. It looked like it was a stabilization, but now it's sort of really starting to test for a possible new continuation lower. So just talking about stocks, we'll just have a quick look at some of the markets overnight. The US30 touched new records and held there. This morning we're seeing a bit of selling in the out of hours. The SPX new records we can see here, and the Nasdaq as well put in new record highs. And this is the same over on the GER30. We had a very strong move during yesterday's session. It was one of the stronger performers overnight in the major indices. So we saw strong gain of 1.13%, and a really solid clear not only of this resistance was cleared the other day, but this high here, and buyers really made a bit of a statement that this current short to medium term trend is still kicking and underway. And it was over the same on the Euro stocks. To have a look at the weekly on this one, just to see that move. And we can see just here that previous high that was set back in 2015. Buyers edged above it with a close, which is quite healthy and strong to see. So it's a new breakout this week for the EURUSD 50. Now, oil bounced back overnight. We saw oil bounced back overnight. We saw a 3% move on USD, and we cleared this resistance point here, but we're still just under these highs. So there is one fast trend break here, we can see there, but now we'd like to see possibly how this move reacts. If we have then a small pullback, we'd like to see this low hold and a new either Tesla low or a new higher low form, just to suggest that there is more momentum on the buy side and we could see a move higher. Now, it's a mixed night for the USD. We saw the USDCAD decline as oil came back into the fold, and we saw a pretty healthy decline of 0.28%. The trend's still short to medium term up, but what we'd really like to see now is, since we've come off of this resistance point, that's now confirmed as continuing resistance. Now we want to see the next rally. What happens with that rally? If we see a low high and then a fail, or if we see a new higher low and possible continuation of this current trend. But you want to be a little bit careful right now on this one. Even if you did see a continuation, a bar down and then up, be a little bit mindful that if it does end under this resistance, it could be a new lower high, it could be what's called a bull trap, and then it will be faded aggressively and you could see a new decline deeper. So you just want to give this one a bit of time, see how it reacts, and if buyers can re-establish a new floor after this 2 days of selling. So other than Governor Low, keep an eye on our Twitter for upcoming key data and main news that's coming out for the rest of the day. And we hope you have a fantastic trading day, and good trading, and bye for now.